The day is here, guys. The day I've been dreading for a long time. That is the refresh of the Mazda CX-5. The reason I've been dreading this day is because I think Mazda is one of the last companies to have a, first of all, beautiful exterior design, coded design language. Love it. Looks nice. Fluid motions with a couple of sharp key sharp lines. But then you have the interiors, and Mazda still uses some analog features in the CX-5 that I love. And I'm afraid to see what this interior is going to look like in the new CX-5. Hopefully not just a bunch of displays. Please don't make it a bunch of displays, Mazda. Keep the classy look. And I'm sure this is still gonna be a success, just like the old CX-5. So we're gonna have a look at the spy photo. We have one leaked photo here, and then we have some spy photos from Car Scoops. They say it's not a carbon copy of the CX-9 or the CX-90 and the CX-70, but the rear end looks almost, to me at least, from the spy photos that we're going to look pretty identical, to be honest. But first, let's have a look at what this is all about from this article. What we know so far. So the new hybrid SUV Mazda didn't want you to see, just leaked. Okay, I got it. Got a little confused there. So set to arrive 9 years after the predecessor. So it's time for a refresh, if we put it that way. The updated crossover will offer a hybrid powertrain option developed entirely in-house, probably a 2026 model year. The third generation CX-5 brings updated styling, new tech, and for the first time, a hybrid option. I'm a huge fan of the hybrid option. The only thing I'm a little worried about here is the new tech, and that is going to have to be, the interior design. If any new company comes out with a new random, regular car with analog clusters, I'm gonna be so happy, because that is what I want to see us going back to. But I doubt it's gonna happen. So the overall proportions and window shape remain familiar, echoing the outgoing CX-5, but the body panels have been entirely reworked. Probably took some body panels from the CX-70 and the CX-90 for the rear end, because it looks almost identical, as I said. So we have a new unit. The new units curve into the grille, the front end here, and unlike what we once saw on the now discontinued Mercedes EQC, similar to that one. The grille itself keeps its signature shape, but introduces a fresh pattern and thinner chrome accents. The bumper is still cleanly sculpted, free of any fake vents, and that is one reason I also love Mazda's exterior design. They don't do any fake stuff in their vehicles. It's the sheet metal of any Mazda these days. It's just beautiful. You have the bumper is still cleanly sculpted, as I said, and you have though the lower intake right here has grown significantly from the current model year. Maybe it needs more cooling for the hybrid system, I'm not sure. So you have unpainted plastic cladding, gives the crossover a slightly more rugged appearance. You can see that right here. Would be pretty sweet to see all of this in body panel colored. I think it would look very, very classy. I don't think anybody who buys a CX-5 is going to take it off-road, so they don't need this stuff. But, it's an SUV. Here in the States, it's so funny. If you have a hatchback, for example, if you lift it up a little bit and put these kind of plastic cladding around the hatchback, everybody thinks it's an SUV, and all of a sudden people wants to buy it. So that is probably one of the reasons why you still have it here. So here you have the old one right here, looking very beautiful. It's still a very modern looking design, in my opinion. Made a review of this, and I loved everything about it. And I also said that I hope they don't refresh it for another 10 years because of how good the CX-5 is. Currently is one of the best small little crossovers out there on the market, even though it is 9 years old. So the new CX-5 will bring improvement to the interior, likely borrowing materials from and tech from Mazda's more upscale models. The CX-90 and the CX-70 still has beautiful looking interiors, even though they're brand new, or pretty much brand new models. So expect a bump in quality and a larger infotainment screen as well. You can have a larger infotainment screen, just don't make it a TV on the dash. That's all I'm asking for. So the upcoming CX-5 will offer a self-charging hybrid. That engine won't join the lineup until late 2027, though. The current CX-5 arrived in late 2016. So as I said, it's time. It's time, unfortunately, I have to say, for a redesign here, even though I don't feel it's necessary. So the updated CX-5 will go head-to-head with Honda CR-V, the Subaru Forester, and both of them offer, hybrid technology. So let's have a look at the spy photos here. Now look at the rear end. Does this not look exactly like a CX-90 or a CX-70 with these taillights here? You can clearly tell what this rear end is going to look like. All you have to do is just look at the CX-70 or the 90. You can see how the taillights are sculpted here. I'm not sure if it's the exact same part for the taillights like we have on the bigger siblings, but it looks pretty much identical. We have a cap here. Maybe this is the hybrid or the fuel cap. The proportions very recognizable as a CX-5. The greenhouse is almost identical to the current version, and I don't think they want to mess anything up with this design, because the CX-5, I didn't know this, but when I did a review, I did some research about this model, and it is, I do believe it's Mazda's best-selling SUV of all time, if I'm not mistaken. So they need to be very, very careful about redesigning this. The front end, from the leaked photo or from the spy photo, you can see it right here. Now the thing about this front end, you can see that the opening is a lot bigger in the lower section like we have than what we have right now, and you can also see these headlights look very cool, starting to maybe, I hope that is going to turn into a more robotic design. I don't want to see more robotic designs in car design anymore, but let's jump into Photoshop here and have a look at the real thing. So up top we have the old or the current version, as you can see right here, looking very, very, very beautiful. I do like this design, and as I said, I don't necessarily think it needs an update. And down low here we do have the leaked photo of the new CX-5. The thing about the front end of the new one, though, if you look at this one, clearly Mazda. We have a nice sculpted hood, very simplistic styling for the key graphics in the front end, with this grille going down here, clear separation with the bumper from the lower half graphics, which is now a lot bigger in the new one. As you can see down here, this grew a lot for the intake in the lower section right there, but I still think it still looks Mazda. But now that we have this grille here, this to me reminds me a lot of a Nissan, because this looks like the V-Motion design that we have from Nissan, just implemented maybe in a little bit more organic way. But this looks less than what I would expect from Mazda. It has a little bit more edgy feel to it, more Nissan-like design, and specifically, as I said, with this V-Motion design. But the greenhouse is a pretty bad quality photo here, even though, it is a leaked photo. It's not an official photo. You can see the wheel design here. Looks like we're still gonna have black wheels. I want this trend to end. Just put some different color, not color, but some lighter, brighter colors on the wheels, so we can actually appreciate the wheel design. Because when you have it black like this, it's just a black blob that fills out the wheelhouses. You can see that we have this line here, which is also something that we have in the CX-70 and the CX-90 as well. Coming back here, just a little indent here. No fake vents though. It looks like they could have put some black plastic in this area and make it a fake vent, but that's not what Mazda is all about. They keep it very, very strict and simple when it comes to the graphics. The code of design language that we have for Mazda, that we've had for a while now, I think is one of the most beautiful when it comes to surfacing of the bodywork of Mazdas. They say the Kodo design language is all about the play with empty surfaces. And when you look at a Mazda from a side view and you walk around it a little bit, specifically a Mazda 3, I think does this the best. When you look at a Mazda 3, you have these nice, beautiful reflections, this flows in the bodywork, specifically when you have it in Soul Red, which is one of my favorite car colors from any manufacturer. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see just how much this is going to look like the older siblings, specifically in the rear end. I think it's going to be a very similar design in the rear end, but the front end to me looks nice. But I hope they don't go into this robotic feel and also keep the analog feel for the interior moving forward with the new CX-5.